Prosecutors on Tuesday laid out their case against former President Trump in a 45-page indictment filled with details from his closest associates. But that's different than winning the case in court. And to talk about some of the hurdles that prosecutors will need to clear, CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson joins me now. Jessica, when you look at the indictment, and we'll already stipulate that it's still pretty fresh in the world, but when you look at the indictment, what do you think some of the challenges are for prosecutors in terms of trying to actually get convictions on these charges?
Well, as you said, there is a big difference between an indictment and a conviction. There's a different standard. But I think the challenge will always be proving that these are intentional crimes, proving that the former president, in fact, did create that corrupt intent that you need. And that's why I think you see special counsel Jack Smith start this indictment with the fact that the former president allegedly spread lies, and then spend so much time in the indictment talking about the idea that the former president knew exactly what he was doing. We were hearing some indication that perhaps Trump was going to say, look, I was just following the advice of counsel. I talked to lawyers and they said that I could go ahead. And I think that's potentially one of the bigger thresholds for the prosecution. And that's why you see them spend so much time on that in the indictment.
In a general sense, let's leave this aside from the former president's actions at the moment, but in a general sense, how effective is that kind of an argument in a case? I mean, if I rob a bank, I can't say, well, the guard said it was okay to rob the bank, right? I mean, at some point, credulity gets strained. What's the normal test in the law for that kind of a defense?
Well, the normal test is always going to be, what does the jury believe? And part of this case and part of every case will obviously be looking at defendants, and if they take the stand, watching them and thinking, do they have credibility? Do I believe that? Now, John, I will just say everybody knows that it's wrong to rob a bank. But I think what the defense might hope is that, election laws are really complicated. And so the former president, not being an election lawyer, talked to attorneys and he was told this was okay. Robbing the bank, we're not going to believe he thought that was okay. Is this a good argument? No. Is it potentially a passable argument? I don't think so, but I think that's where we'll see him spend some time.
And then finally, quickly, Jessica, one of the focuses of this indictment is the former Vice President Mike Pence, who was with the former president at these tense moments in which President Trump was trying to convince him to overthrow the vote, essentially, on January 6th. Is the vice president so crucial to this case because he can testify essentially as much as you can get into anyone's head into what the former president was thinking at that crucial time?
I think that is exactly right. And this indictment really lays out for me between lies and actions taken to try and execute those lies. And I see Vice President Pence really at the center of that, of the former president propagating these alleged lies and then saying to Vice President Pence, and now go forward and execute my plan for me. Mm-hmm. Vice President Pence didn't have the constitutional authority. He said he didn't. And I think while the case doesn't collapse without him, I do think he's key.
Jessica Levinson, thanks so much, as always, for being with us.